Good evening, Braves country. This is your host, Coach Ken Anderson for Hardcore Braves, coming after the A series with the Braves two out of three. How the heck are you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing good, man. 2 out of 3. We had a 4-2 homestand. I am very excited. It's a good start to the season. Way better than 0-7, I will say that.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, man. 4 wins in the first 7 games. What are we doing? Might get a fifth tomorrow. We'll see. And also tonight,
Spoiled.
we are pumped because Mr. Ben Weaver is now part of Hardcore Braves. And Ben's joining us tonight. How you doing, Ben?
I'm great, man. Kind of like Ryan said, we took 2 out of 3 from two overall solid teams. I mean, I can't complain considering the 0-7 disaster that was last year. So, shoot, I'm all smiles right now, man.
Dude, there's a lot to be happy about. And there's some stuff we got to work on. We're going to get into that, folks. I know you're busting everybody's chops on Twitter. Some of y'all are way up here and some of you way down here. It's probably right in here somewhere. And we're going to try to hit that. Let's start with some of the good. Game one. Game one, we come out and we put Big Texas on the mound. And Big Texas shoved. He just shoved. 6 innings, 6 Ks, shutout ball. Mark Bowman put out a post about how well he pitched down the stretch in September. Do y'all think this is a continuation? Not that we're going to get shutout ball, but has Bryce turned a corner a little bit and maybe he could be a good fifth starter for us? What do you think, Ryan?
I Ken, you know my feelings on Big Texas, man. I am a Big Texas truther. All right, look, when he has his duds, I'm not denying it. He has some duds, but overall, if you're gonna go 5, 6 innings, give up 3 earned runs or less, that's all I need. Even if you give up 4 from a number 5 starter, that tickles me pink. And Big Texas shoved it up the former Oakland Athletics rear ends on Monday night. He did really good.
He did. We
I
call him
hope
the
it's a
we,
continuous.
yeah, we call them the West Coast A's. Is what we're going to go with now, Ben. We've decided they're just out in the West somewhere, so we don't know what to call them. What do you think about Big Texas?
I'm pretty notorious for not being a big Texas guy. But honestly, he pitched very well. I would like to see it against an offense who hasn't come into the game struggling as much as the A's offense had. Because really, through the first 3 games of the season, the Oakland A's or the West Coast A's, their offense was Shea Langoliers, former Brave, and nobody else right then. But we know on paper they have a phenomenal offense. They have some really, really good hitters on that team. So I think Bryce Elder, that was a very good confidence boost going into the year, being his first start. And, I don't think his stuff was that great, but he did get outs, and that is what matters at the end of the day. So good for Bryce, good for the Braves.
Yeah, his numbers, if you look inside the analytics, he wasn't as great as you would think, his outs. But the one thing that was very noticeable, and he brought up in a story about him going with Greg Maddux. So I think it's a perfect opponent to face to try that two seam where he backdoors it. That was a good pitch in the game for him. Uh,
Yes.
so, I know that you know about the numbers, Ben, and how he's a little off. With that two seam, and being able to backdoor it, it could make a big difference that he can start locating his other stuff, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, if he starts using that pitch, and he can talk to Greg Maddux, and because they are, and I might get killed for this, but they are very similar pitchers. They're not going to rely on velocity. They have to rely on command, and they have to rely on soft contact and being able to have movement on those pitches. And Bryce, he obviously isn't as talented as Greg Maddux, but again, who is? But talking to somebody who can share those same kind of proponents, as far as being a pitcher goes, that's going to do nothing but good for him. So good on him for reaching out, or at least speaking with Greg Maddux and trying to figure some stuff out.
Yeah, I agree. I think like I said, we're not asking Bryce to be a lot except to be the fifth starter. And one thing he is durable. Even if you didn't think should be in the rotation, the one thing you can never deny is his durability. So, you know, he gave us a chance with his shutout. And one of the things that we noticed in the game, Ryan, was that our hitters were very patient. They worked really deep counts on Lopez, who is a very good starter for them, by the way. He can be very tough, and it enabled us to get deep in the counts. And now we got a couple of fluky hits to score, but we put people on base because we got deep in the counts. And don't you think that made a difference to kind of get the offense going after a dud on Sunday?
Yeah, that's the one consistency that this Braves offense has had the entire 6 games, in my opinion. Now, does that to say that they work every at bat perfectly and that they do great every at bat? Absolutely not. I will say 70 to 75% of the at bats they are working two ball counts at least. And what it does is it gives you an idea what the pitcher's got that day. You know how he's going to kind of attack you and what their game plan is, and that gives you a little bit more of knowledge when you're going up your next at bat and how to game plan against the pitcher. And it lets the guys who are on deck behind you see pitches as well. And you're working the pitch count. You're trying to get to the bullpen. If you get the bullpen the first game in the 4th inning, that has a carryover into the following day and the game after that. It's a very nice welcome sight. I've been asking for it for a couple of years now.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. And, Ben, one of the interesting key cogs in Monday's win was Mauricio Dubon. And the funny is, if we'd have told somebody before the season, Mauricio, the gold glover, is going to make 2 errors, but he's going to save us with his bat. You think anybody in Braves country, other than us three who love Mauricio Dubon coming over, would have believed us to start off with? But what a game by Mauricio Monday night.
Yeah, man. Mauricio, people forget he's not the worst hitter on the planet by any means. I mean, just him standing there with the bat is going to be better than, no shade at Nicky Pickett here, but him just being there, Mauricio Dubon is an infinitely better hitter than what Nick Allen could have provided. I posted the tweet about it too, and it's took Nick Allen 72 plate appearances last year to get to 4 RBIs, and it took Mauricio Dubon 8 plate appearances to get to 4 RBIs. And I'm not saying that Mauricio Dubon's going to get a RBI every other plate appearance by any means, but it is nice to know that you're not a black hole at shortstop whenever they come up to hit, and they can at least drive in a run or two.
Yeah, it really makes a big difference. It's really lengthened our lineup because as good as Nick was, and he was great in the field, he really become almost an automatic out at the bottom of the lineup. And you can even see the frustration in him. And one thing I can guarantee you, Ryan, is Mauricio is going to hit a home run this year, which Nick Allen has not. So, uh, but what do you think about Mauricio and the way he looked Monday night?
I think he looks great on both sides of the ball. Look, I mean, he waffled 2 baseballs, and I think one of them was on the transfer. I mean, that's going to happen over the course of 162 games. I'm not really going to worry about that. But the way he looks at shortstop, it's really good compared to what we were used to with Orlando Arcia at shortstop. It's very nice. The bat, he's not going to go out and hit you 20 bombs, but he's going to put up really good at bats. He's going to work counts. He's got a little bit more thump than Nick Allen. I think Mauricio could do 700 OPS ish, 680, 700, and I think that's something that we desperately need at shortstop. And honestly, if Ha-Seong Kim comes back and he's not good, you got a pretty good fallback option in Dubon.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's he's going to be somebody that's going to help us all year long. I mean, he can play any positions. When they announced his utility Gold Glove, it was impressive to do it. Now the guy Ronald Acuna there, Mister Doctor Jekyll, Mister Hyde, this season had a great game Monday night. 2 for 2, 2 walks, a double, outstanding. So what do you think with Ronald? Is he's usually off to slow starts. We'll go to you, Ben. He usually gets off to slow starts, but do we see some good things in Ronald that he could probably get going when we get to Arizona?
Yeah, I mean there are good things to see. Like he is taking his walks. You know, he's not getting overly aggressive at the plate, except for yesterday, oddly in game two, which it felt like everybody was just being overly aggressive for no reason. But overall, I mean, he had two more walks today, was it? And then two walks on Monday, and it's like there are encouraging signs. He's seeing the ball well. His timing might just be in between, or he's just not. I don't really know, but he's not fully ready for the regular season as far as hitting goes. But I mean, he's Ronald Acuna. We've seen this man do some phenomenal things on the baseball field and in the batter's box. So like, I'm not concerned about him. He'll get it going.
Yeah, my man, my friend Chad Bishop put out today answer to a tweet. This is normal for Ronnie to get off to slow starts, so I'm not worried either. Now, one of the interesting things happened in this game is Walt Wise showed his managerial thing. He let some guys in. He's making moves. He's giving guys shots that we probably wouldn't have had in the past. And because of that, you get a chance to have Mike Yastrzemski hit again, where normally he would have been pitched hit for in the fifth inning. He comes up in the eighth inning, hits a triple, and Ryan, is that not what we've seen with Wall? He's a little bit more aggressive than Snit has been last couple of years, and it's making a difference in the ball club.
Yeah, I very much noticed that there's a couple times, even in the latter games like today, where that he knew Hogan Harris was their only lefty in the bullpen, and when they brought him out to face Yaz, Olson, or Dom, whoever was ever up, Walt just left him in. He's like, you know what? It's fifth, sixth inning right now. I'm going to need these guys later in the game when they have a right-hander on the mound when the game probably is going to be on the line. And that's great managerial moves. You've also seen him be really aggressive when his team's down, and he's got guys who are pretty slow on the bases, is putting it nicely, and he's been pinch running to try to win the game. And like I said earlier on the previous podcast, I think that really gives the guys a jolt. Like, hey, this guy's got our back. He's trying to push us to get this game, so let's go get this game.
Yeah, I agree. And so far, knock on wood, Ben, his management of the bullpen has been spot on. Don't you think? I mean, he has pretty much crushed the bullpen moves in the first six games. I don't expect him to be perfect, but the bullpen is elite, and he seems like to be using them, when they need to be using. And Bummer starting in innings, what Braves Twitter's always wanted, he did. He went out and he pitched well. So what do you think, Ben, about the bullpen usage?
I mean, they've been lights out, man. Like you throw them out there, and they have just been on nails every time out. And it seems like Walt is pushing all the right buttons at the right time, and even like you said, Aaron Bummer. We've been clamoring for him to stop coming in with runners in scoring position with any number of outs. Less than two outs, doesn't matter. We don't want him in the game with the runners in scoring position. And Walt, it feels like it just clicks with him like, okay, Aaron Bummer is best used when he comes in on a clean inning. He's not a high leverage guy. But obviously, Robert Suarez is a high leverage guy, and he is using Robert Suarez. And I think Iggy's only gotten in one game through the first six.
He's got two.
So
He got him
two.
today. He got him today. Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, he got in today. But regardless, he hasn't had to use Iggy, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like Snit would have gotten Iggy in there just to have him in. And I mean, it's not wrong per se, but like if you can save Raisel Iglesias' 37-year-old arm for August, September, put more innings on him then, why not do that? I think Walt's done a fantastic job.
Yeah, I do too. And I love the way he's handling the bullpen. As far as Iglesias, Ryan, anybody who thought maybe the end of the season was the last hurrah, could he repeat it? He's looked excellent this first two games here. I mean, he looks like he has a chance to be the good Rossiel this year for us.
The first thing I noticed today when he came out of the pen and he threw 95, it had you can tell like like the fastballs when they kind of dip a little bit, but his shit just rode right through the damn zone. Like that shit just took off. It's like right before it got to the glove, it just exploded right to the glove. He looked really good. The changeup's falling off a freaking table. I haven't seen Iggy this good. Like I think towards the end of last year he looked really good, but this early in the season I haven't seen this kind of form from Iggy in quite some time. Now I don't think he's going to be, what was it, 22 when he came over and he was just lights out for the whole second half. I don't know if he's going to be that electric because that was a historic run, but I really really like the seventh, eighth, and ninth inning guys that we got right now.
I do too.
Bullpen usage perfection for Walt.
Yeah, he's been spot on. And, we don't need Iggy to be 22 because we have Suarez. And for those who always think about bullpen usage, we're not saying Walt's perfect. He's going to make one, and we're all going to scratch our heads. But we don't always know what's going on behind the scenes when the pitchers, leaders come out and say, I can't go. So there are spots that might be something to do with it. But so far, he's been spot on. Anything else from game one, Ryan, that you thought you remember from him?
Did we get picked off in the first game?
We didn't get picked off in the first game. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're going to get to that in game three. I'm telling you what,
Oh
guys,
my
that's
gosh.
God, dude, Jesus.
the pickoff stuff. But I'm going to get to why I think that's happening. But we'll go on to game two. Now we talked about there was good and there was bad. Game two was the bad. Pretty much. Now, Ryan, I'll disagree one thing. I think they've had really good approaches 5 of the 6. I thought their approaches
That's
Tuesday
fair.
night were a little off. And interesting, I talked to Dallas Braden, who does the analyst for the A's, and he thought Savali would pitch well. He thought it was a terrible matchup for us, and he proved me wrong. I thought we might hit him, but he was right. And Savali threw great. He threw it on the corners, and he had us lunging and guessing all night long. And it was just it was a rough night, and you thought we were going to get off to a great start because, of course, Drake hit a home run, and you think everything's going to be easy. And he was just difficult, and a lot of pop-ups, a lot of contact. This is Savali. I mean, he was excellent. So was it a combination of Savali being good and our hitters not really being there this year, or was it a cause for concern like the season's over, like some of Twitter thought because we lost the game, or you just shake Savali's hand and you move on? What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, you just shake Savali's hand and move on, man. Like, he had our number. And I think that through 5 of the first 6 games, the Braves have shown a much better offensive approach, like Ryan has said. And you some days it's baseball. There's 162 of these bad boys. You're gonna have one like yesterday. Now, it felt worse. I will in their defense, it felt worse coming off of what we went through last year. And it looked very similar to how everything went last year. Just almost every game. And this is no shade at Michael Harris. I still think he's going to have a good year. But Michael taking 2 pitches for balls and then swinging it 3 straight out of the zone to strike out, going from 2-0 to striking out on 3 straight pitches out of the zone, that was infuriating to me to watch because it's like, dude, you had such good at bats in spring training, and you looked like you were really coming on, and then Tuesday happened, and it's like, are we just falling back into our old ways? Like, it's almost like PTSD happened.
Yeah, I think I think that's where it went with Braves Twitter, and we're not picking on you because we even had in our group chat we had some stuff to say too. But
Yeah.
one of the ones that really struggled Tuesday was Ronald Acuna. But we don't look good, and we get Twitter fired up when we go 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position, 9 runners left on. Acuna, Riley, and Olson still have not hit a home run. You would have got made money in Vegas if you would have bet that. No, none of those 3 would have had a home run in the first 6 games. And so because of that, don't you think, Ryan, it just was the whole everything coming like Ben's point, it kind of looked like 2025 again, and everybody just said, "Oh, I got to get out of here," because
Oh,
it did look bad Tuesday.
there's no doubt about it. I think me, you, and Ben were all in our group chat just absolutely livid at the at bats. But I like sometimes you got to step back, and that's what I did. Like yesterday, or this morning, I was like, all right, well, let's just see how good Savali was. So I pulled this up. I mean, you might have a total of 15 pitches right there that's in the middle of the plate, and everything else is out of the zone or right here on the corners. And
Yep.
when when you're in the box personally, man, and you're facing this, and it's not straight. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Cam, but he's throwing cutters, sinkers, sliders, changeups, curveball.
Yep.
He's throwing everything with spin. I will tell you as a hitter, give me 98 straight. I don't want to face a cutter. I don't want to face a slider. I don't want to face a two seamer running on my hands because that makes you uncomfortable in the box. There is no comfortability. And I was telling you this, Ken. Like Riley looked lost a couple times. Ronald looked lost a couple. Like I remember one that Ronald missed by a foot, and I was like, "What are they doing?" It's because they were facing a guy who was throwing moving pitches that moved 7+ inches on the corners. And then when you see one down the middle, you're like, "Whoa, shit! It's down the middle."
Yeah,
So
it really confused them. He really confused them, and and to Ben's point with Harris, mine was later in the game with Lauder on the bump. Oakland makes an error, gives us a chance, first and second,
yes,
no out, and I don't know what Ronnie thought he was going to get. I don't know why he thought he was going to get a fastball there, but he got a curveball right down the pike in the middle. That's one of those I wish he would have set a little off speed there because I don't know why you would think, but it's just an off game. And as bad as the hitters were, the game really changed when Suarez couldn't throw strikes. And
Yep.
he ended up walking 3 in 1 inning, and they got a big hit, a double. Even without that, Ben, thoughts on Suarez? For me, real quick, I don't want him in the rotation. I understand kind of why he's here, but I think there's other options. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, me and you talked about it today, Ken. We kind of discussed like why is J.R. Ritchie not up? If you're gonna bring him up anyway at some point this year, why not go ahead and do it? There's no real rhyme or reason to have Jose Suarez in the rotation right now. And I told you earlier today that I firmly believe that the people who are talking about, well, it's only April or it's only March, it's only April, it's like these games don't matter. Yes, they do. The Braves lost their playoff hopes in March and April of last year. And you're telling me that these games don't count. I get it. They want to play the option game with J.R. Ritchie or whatever, but I think truthfully they're trying to manipulate service time with him, and I don't see any reason as to why he should not be up, or why Didier Fuentes should not have started that game instead of coming in relief the other day. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I hope Jose Suarez is a one and done in this rotation. If he's not, then I'm gonna start having some more questions about how this team is ran. But right now, I'm holding on to hope that either Strider will come back very soon, or J.R. Ritchie will come up, or Fuentes will make a start. Just something.
Well, I agree with you, and we talked about it today. I'm confused a little bit why Suarez got the start, and I'm normally an AA apologist. I'm a truther. I think he's really a really good GM. But if none of those pitchers do work for us, Ryan, Perez did show us something in the game. That was part of the good, and he went 4 1/3 innings. He didn't have a walk, 2 hits. And do you think maybe he's the guy, if they're going to wait on not bringing Richie or whatever, maybe he's the guy that gets to start Sunday in Arizona?
if it's not going to be Fuentes or Richie, if you got to throw Perez Suarez, you got to go Perez at this point. He looked way better than Suarez. Martin Perez did. I'm not fond of either one of them. If I'm being 100% honest, I'm with you guys. I think Ken, me and you talked about Didier. Me and you both think if you're gonna stretch him out, why not do it in the big leagues? He was already up. Just go ahead and start pitching. And if you want to manipulate the clock on J.R. Ritchie, you got a perfect excuse. You already had Didier up here. Just give him the shot at the number 5 spot and keep Perez and Suarez as mop-up men. But unfortunately, I do think we're going to see Martin Perez in the number 5 spot next go round.
Yeah, I do too. And I equate these two pitchers to two vegetables I can't stand. That's spinach and collard greens. I will never eat collard greens, and that's Jose Suarez, but I can stomach spinach, and that's Martin Perez. So if it's going to be one of those two, I'm like you, Ryan. Let's get Perez the chance. And this, I really don't want to see Suarez start another game, to be honest with you. And hopefully that'll happen. Anybody got anything else from game 2? I know it was kind of a debacle. Baldwin did hit the home run, and we have Drake. We can talk about Drake every game, of course. But anybody got anything else from game 2?
Yeah, I got something to say, Ken. I always knew you were a Yankee. You don't like collard greens, man? Come on.
Kind of
No,
with Ken on
no.
that. Kind of with
Yeah,
Ken on
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Y'all are unbelievable. Throw
And
some ham hocks in that. Oh God, boy.
I've done all that. And I did that little sauce y'all do. I've tried it every way. I
Yeah.
can't eat it.
Man, I don't like mustard greens. Mustards I don't like, but collards, I'll tear some of them up with some black eyed peas on New Year's. You got to have the black eyed peas for good luck, and you got to have the collard greens for money. And you got to eat them, man.
Well, we
See,
did.
that's
We
why
do
I'm
the.
not rich. I've been missing out on that.
Yeah.
I do the black eyed peas for health, and but I eat me some good Kentucky chili green beans for the money. So that's what I eat.
I don't
Great.
know if black eyed peas southern cooking is really that healthy. I'll just keep it $1.10 with you.
Who cares if it's healthy, man? It's good.
I'm just saying.
I didn't ask for no health advice.
That's why you only eat it once, Ryan. You eat it on New Year's.
That's fair. That's fair. Look, that's fair. That's fair.
So, all right. So then we get to the good again. That's kind of how the season's been, and we'll take 2 good, 1 bad every third game. We're going to win 100 games. We're going to go to the playoffs. So we'll do this all the time. Game 3 today. The good. Where do we want to start? We're going to start with Mr. Drake Baldwin. Drake rakes. And Dallas also said, and he put out in a tweet finally, best catcher in baseball. And he had 4 RBIs today. Ben, what do you think about our catcher?
I think our catcher is phenomenal, and he would have had another RBI or two had Denzel Clark not been an absolute madman out there in center field. But regardless, Drake, he is. If I could go back in today and change who I thought my key to the Braves offense would be, I'd change it to Drake because he's obviously been the key. Your big boys are not hitting. Olsen, Acuna, Riley, Ozzie. They're not hitting Michael Harris. They're not hitting. The one guy who is Drake Baldwin, and I just can't say enough about him. The dude hits. He flat out rakes. Rake balled him.
Yeah, he needs an extension by the end of this year, by the way. AA, if you're watching this, let's get him signed.
Get it done now. Now.
Please.
Yes. Now, only thing I disagree, Ben, with he's the only one. There's 2 guys that we kind of picked up, one for Nick Allen and one for nothing. Mr. Dominic Smith and
when I
Mauricio.
said that, I just meant of the big names.
I understand that, but we got to talk about Dominic Smith and Mauricio Dubon, Ryan. Man, these guys, they've been a lifesaver. We'd be 2-4, 1-5 without Dominic Smith and Mauricio Dubon. So, what do you think about those 2?
I love that they don't sit on pitches. I'm not saying they don't always sit on pitches, but I'm saying when they get down in the count, 2 strikes, they give up all that crap, and they are just looking to put bat on ball. Ken, we broke the grand slam down by Dom Smith the last time we were on this podcast, and he had no stride. Foot up, foot down, hips to the ball, bam, into the chop house. And Dubon's much of this. He's got obviously Dubon's a little bit more leg kick, but you can see even Doobie, he lets the ball get really deep into the zone so he can see it deep, so he can try to make his best decision as he can and just put the ball in play. He's not trying to hit the ball 500 feet. And the offense desperately needed that the last 2 years, and I am thrilled that they're doing what they're doing, and I'm glad they're in a Braves uniform. Dom Smith, I'll be honest with you, has been by far the biggest surprise this early on for me. We already kind of knew Drake was this good. He's just showing out. But Dubon, we kind of figured he was going to be like a little bit of a, like, you know, number 2 hitter back in the day, if you will. But Dom Smith, I didn't expect any of this out of.
We can't leave out Yaz either, man.
Yaz has been good.
Yeah.
No, I was
But we
gonna
kind of
let
expected
you.
Jazz to be good.
I was going to tell you, Ben's right. Yaz, he's a little off today. He's hitting the ball off the end of the bat today. But
Dropping a lot.
speak to that, Ben. Yaz has been another. The AA has hit on everybody that he signed, and so Yaz has been Dubon, Dominic Smith, Robert Suarez. I mean, he's hit a home run as far as those off-season moves, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. The people who are, you know, and I hate to call anybody out, and I'm not going to call anybody out by name, but the people on Braves Twitter who there's hundreds of them are like, well, AA's shopping on the scrap heap and this, that, and the other. And it's like, you find good players on the margins. You're not going to sit there and sign all-stars up and down the lineup. He just so happened to sign 3 very good players that really complement the rest of this team and have led to this team having 4 wins in the first 6 games directly. You know, Dom Smith, the walk-off grand slam was absolute cinema. I mean, I was at my buddy's bachelor party in, you know, middle of Georgia, and we were just hanging out by the fire, and Dom Smith comes up, and I'm like, there's a bunch of folks about to eat crow whenever Dom Smith strolls up to this plate right here. And good Lord, did they. And Dom just sent it to the chop house, and I was jumping for joy, man. It was great. But Mauricio Dubon's hitting, Yaz is hitting, Suarez is pitching. Just all around great stuff.
Yeah, he hit on all of them, and you know the other thing that showed out this whole homestand was, and Ryan, you brought it up in your series finale. We could have done it for the first series. It's beautiful to watch Suarez, Lee, and Iglesias close the game. You feel like the game's over, and it's been since the 2021 season that I felt that way. What about you? This bullpen has been just nails.
I just want you to. I'm backing this up a little bit. I want you guys just to watch this electric fastball right here. Here we go. It's coming up. Bang! That thing rode through the zone. The bullpen has been absolutely phenomenal. 1 singular earned run this entire series, Ken. 1. And I think they may have walked 1 batter through 3 games. That is ridiculous. Ben, and you know, I give pitchers shit. I'm not giving none of my pitchers shit at all these first 6 games. Besides Suarez, they have all controlled the one thing that I've wanted them to control from the start. They limit walks. It's been the biggest thing for me. Limit your walks, you're going to give yourself a really good chance to win, and they've won 4 of their first 6. And it's because of the pitching.
Yeah, there are 3 runs and 20 innings on this homestand. It's ridiculous. Their bullpen has been outstanding. Now, with all that said, Ben, the star of the game pitching wise was Chris Sale. After a game, we find out from Walt he was sick as a dog. That might explain why he didn't try to gas it up too much today. So he went to the changeup, and he had the A's baffled. He got soft contact all day. He kept his pitch count down. 6 innings, no walks, 1 hit, only 3 Ks. But, you know, man, that's beautiful right there. And he's really the ace of the staff and maybe the next Cy Young. What do you think?
I mean, who really needs strikeouts whenever you're inducing weak contact like that and letting your defense play behind you? You know, strikeouts are fun. Don't get me wrong. They're awesome. But Chris Sale is not one of the best pitchers in the league for no reason. I mean, the dude knows how to pitch. He's not just going to come up there and strike you out. He can, and he will, but he doesn't have to, and he knows that. And that's what separates Chris Sale and the aces of the aces from the rest of the pack is they know they don't have to do that. They know how to pitch. And I'm so glad that the Braves extended Chris Sale, in spring training. It's great, and I'm glad he's going to be here for years to come because we need that guy.
I was thinking watching the game, this is getting the cart ahead of the horse for sure. If he can finish his career 3 more years in here and he pitches like this, and God blesses us and we win a World Series, I think 51 might get hung up in the Raptors there. What do you think, Ryan?
Got to win a World Series.
I said he'd win one. I said if he won a World
If
Series,
if he if he pitches like this and we win a championship, he's got a really good shot at getting that 51
yeah,
hung up.
yeah.
If the Braves win a World Series, Chris Sale will go into the Hall of Fame as a Brave.
I 100% agree with that.
That was my thought. If he's going to go in as a
Yes.
Brave, then his numbers probably got to go up. Now that's the cart ahead of the horse, but that's how great Chris Sale's been for us. And I got to say it one more time because it's fun to say. We got him for Vaughn Grissom. Makes me
Vaughn.
laugh.
Isn't Vaughn in the minors for the Angels at this point? Like,
Yeah, yeah. I hate it for
I feel
Vaughn.
bad for the kid, man.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for the kid.
I do too. Now, another good thing is we did get our patience back, which is good because last year I felt like one game led to the next game. Today proved that maybe they were mentally tough. Me and Ron have debated this about this team. Are they mentally tough to get through stuff? They had really good. One of them was Austin. Austin struggled mightily Tuesday. He drew a couple walks today. And, Ryan, I mean, patience at the plate got Severino way up in the pitch count. Ronnie had a couple of walks, and I like the fact that we're not carrying over from day to day, and maybe they'll get us out of this little slump that our big three are in. And I think that they're gonna go to hitting here pretty quick because they're showing patience at the plate. What do you think?
Yes, 100%. Look, patience is key in this game. As I said earlier, patience is going to dictate. If you're taking pitches, you're taking your walks, you're running the pitch count up, you're going to have an effect on the bullpen the entire series, as the Braves did for the Oakland Athletics. And I kind of wanted to point this out with what Severino did. He tried to mimic how Savali pitched, and he just couldn't. As you can see, he really, if you all are on YouTube, you can kind of see, YouTube, you can kind of see he's kind of going outside right here, trying to hit the corners, and he just couldn't do it because he's a power pitcher. Like, he's got to pitch 2 quadrants, and when he did that, the Braves, Drake Baldwin got to him. But kudos to Ronald, Riley, the guys. They took their walks today, and they needed to. They drove the pitch count up. They got into the bullpen that was already tired, and they were able to do a little bit more damage there. But yes, patience. You're seeing pitches. You're at least giving yourself a chance to do damage on a pitch down the middle that you're going to get.
Yeah, I agree. And one of the things that Dallas also said when he was talking about Savali winning is he didn't know Severino could duplicate that, and that we might be able to do what we did today. Because what he brought up, and we'll talk about our hitters really quick here, is we have a lot of zone hitters, or we call it quadrant hitters. They look part of the quad and see where they want to hit. Excuse me. And we have very few pitch selection hitters. Baldwin being one. Baldwin just keeps his hands back and he just wants to see the pitch really deep. Dubon. A lot of our guys want to hit in there, and so when you can't hit those spots like Severino today, and you get in trouble. And as long as the Braves are patient, they can have this approach. But as you can tell from Savali, if you got a guy hitting that, we're going to have to learn how to navigate that and get better at handling those pitchers who can hit those spots. And we got to start being a little bit smarter. Now, one of the things that I wanted to bring up tonight about Tim Hires, I got asked point blank to what kind of coach I thought he was. I think he's an excellent coach. But what he's trying to do is teach a team that was free swinging how to learn the strike zone, and I think he's been excellent at that. Now the rest of it's got to come. So I think everybody needs to slow their roll on hires right now and to see how this plays out. Especially let it have a month or 2 months into the season and see how we do. But I love the patience at the plate. But the fact that I think Dallas is right. I think we have a lot of hitters who want to just look for a particular spot to hit, and if they don't see that spot, they struggle. And I think that's why sometimes Austin up here high he misses that pitch a lot because he's just not ready. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Austin's even talked about it in the past on MLB Network how he hunts quadrants. And for people who don't understand what we're talking about, quadrants, we're talking about the four sections of the plate. You're talking about up and in, you're talking about down and in, you're talking about down and away, and up and away into four boxes. Those are the quadrants that we're talking about. And hitters will say, okay, well, I want it to start in X quadrant, so it ends in X quadrant. Or it starts out of this quadrant, so it ends up in this quadrant. That's what they're looking for when they're hunting those areas. What the four that I think that don't do that is Ozzy. I would agree. I think Michael, Dubon, and then the other one is just obviously
Drake
Baldwin. Drake.
Yep.
How can I forget Mr. Drake Baldwin? They don't. You can just see that they're not hunting a particular zone. They're more or less hunting a pitch that they know they can hit. And then when they get to two strikes, they're just like, all right, I got to battle. I think Baldwin had, a 12 pitch at bat today before he ripped the double with 2 outs? It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think, Ben? There, I mean, it's an interesting thing that Dallas brought up, and you just saw it play out with Savali and Severino. One guy could hit the spot and we struggled. The one guy couldn't, and we got walks and we were able to score. So, how do you fix that? How do we go forward? What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I'll give my thoughts on this real quick, and then I do need to head out. Baby is not having a good night. So, but yeah, I mean, you can see the difference for sure. Like, Severino was kind of very off his game tonight. I mean, Sevy's not a bad pitcher. He's really not. But you could tell that something was off mechanically and, command wise. He was just not able to hit spots. Now, I will say that the only guys who were really able to take advantage of that was Drake Baldwin and the bottom of the order. Ronald walked twice, but he didn't do the damage that we think he probably should. Ozzy swung through some middle fastballs. Ronald did the same thing. And Olson, I mean, his first at bat, Olson struck out and he just turned around and tossed his bat back and tossed his helmet on the ground and was obviously pissed off. The guys who are struggling, they're the superstars that we need to start hitting, but but like Ryan said, they're the ones who are generally the quadrant hitters, and you want those guys who are hunting their pitch. When you say you want to hit your pitch, that's what people mean. You want to hit a fastball in the zone, or you want to hit a curveball, breaking ball in the zone. You don't want to overcomplicate it in a hitter's mind, and I feel like a lot of the bigger name guys, that's what they do a lot of times.
How about 5 seconds, real quick, on hires? What do you think, Ben? Before you leave,
I think the guys who have bought into the hires philosophy are honestly doing the best. I mean, Drake Baldwin is top 97th percentile in walk percentage already. Acuna's walking like crazy. He always walks, but he's trying to take pitches and learn the strike zone. And I feel like the more the guys do that and the more Tim Hires works with these guys on learning the strike zone and learning what pitches they can hit and what pitches they cannot hit, then we'll be just as good, if not better, than 2023. And I know that's hard to say, but because they were historical, but these guys have the talent. They've shown it time and time again. It's time now to remind everybody.
Yeah, I agree. I think like so you got to give it a month or two here, and I think we'll be raking. I really do.
Yeah.
I know you got to go, Ben. I appreciate you. Y'all find him at Weaver
Yeah.
Card. And real quick, Ben's going to start doing some minor league stuff for us. And y'all hit on him. Hit him up on Twitter and tell him what you want to
Yeah.
see, and he'll work it.
Hey man, minor league opening days are this week. I know AAA started, I think late last week, but Double A, Single A, High A, those are starting here this week. So let's go. I'm ready.
Let's do
Absolutely.
it.
All right, man. I appreciate
See,
it. We'll see y'all next time.
All right,
oh,
Ben.
see, Ben. All right. So good series, Ryan. And, got anything else to add from the A series? We did take 2 out of 3, like you said in your video. Good. That's what we want to
I
do.
said we were going to take 3, but I'm happy with 2 out
I
of 3.
said 2 out of 3. Thank you.
You did. I was being optimistic. The only thing that I really want that I'm going to touch on a little bit more is the hitters. For them to fix and get out of their own way, so to speak, they're being too passive in the zone. I think they're being too passive in the zone. Like, I want them to hunt strikes that they know they can do damage on. I don't look. You can have all the knowledge on that pitcher that you want, and that might help you in a 2-strike count. But if he's throwing a really nasty sweeper and you can't hit a sweeper, why the hell are you going to sit on a sweeper? It's going to do you no good anyway. So I want Riley, Ronald, the guys who are struggling to hunt pitches in the zone that they know they can do damage on. And when you swing the daggum bat, don't swing it like you're questioning yourself when you're swinging it. I think that's fair to say they've had some defensive swings. Swing the damn bat to do damage. That's what I want to see out of those guys. Riley's last at bat, he showed that a little bit. He was hunting a fastball up in his zone, and he got it, and he roped it into left field. So that was a nice sign before the end of the game. But really good series overall. So I'm happy.
The AB before that, he flew out deep to center. So I think you're going to start seeing it come with those 3. Look, doesn't matter how good we can build up Dom Smith, Mauricio Dubon, Mike Yastrzemski. If those big 3 don't hit, we're going to be in trouble. So, and they're going to figure it out. I really do believe they will. So we get on the airplane. We're happy. We're 4-2. We're headed to Arizona, where we normally kind of play well. It's a tough place to play. Going to be asking a lot. Interesting thing about Arizona happened. They had a tough schedule. They went to the Dodgers and got swept. And you thought, I don't know about this D-back teams. Then they come home and they swept the Tigers. Interesting. They go 3-3. So they're going to be 3-3. Real quick before y'all get your thoughts on here, y'all. This is the pitching matchups. Reynaldo is going against the Nelson kid. Nelson's very good. He's got a good arm.
He's funky.
He's funky. Yep. And then Friday night we got Holmes against Erod, Mr. Rodriguez. That's a winnable game for us. We'll need Grant to muster his well through, get us 5 innings. But that's the game that I can circle. That's the game we should go win. Thursday's a winnable game. Saturday we get Big Texas against Big Maple. That is going to be beautiful for Braves country.
Okay.
Mike Soroka and Bryce Elder. I tell you what, it's on Fox. Prime time, the whole country gets to see it. So we'll see how that is. And then Sunday, Brandon Faw for Arizona. That's the toughest of the 4. It's going to be a tough ride. Yeah. And then we're going to do at home. He's very difficult.
Really?
So he's pretty good at home. So we'll see. But we can hit him. I mean, we've hit well in that ballpark. To be determined, we've already made who we think it should be. We'll see what they decide. So I give you all the nuts and bolts. What do you think of how this series lines up for the Arizona? 4 games.
We got 4?
Yeah.
I think we split. It's hard to go in and win 3 out of 4. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard. I think we split. And I'd be happy with that. You go out 6-4.
Yeah. I'm hoping for a split. I would really like to win those first 2. Because I think it kind of favors us a little bit. I don't know if anybody's seen, but Soroka had an immaculate inning the last start. He did get a little help on. He did get a little help on when the strike was outside. They didn't challenge it, but that's okay. We like Mike. They're hitting the ball. The one thing they even did in the Dodger series, they were putting runners
There you
on
go.
base, and in the Tiger series, they were able to score. So they got a lot of speed. We're going to have to hold runners. They've got a lot of guys who can hit the ball. They're a pesky team, well managed. They got one of the best managers in baseball in Torrio Lovello. And I agree. I think I'm going to go split two. My heart wants to say 3 out of 4, but if we get out of there with a split, we've done something. And 6-4 to go to Los Angeles. It's Anaheim, but Los Angeles Angels would be massive. And so that's what we're looking for. And I'm going to go out on a limb here. Shouldn't be. Olson and Cunha and Riley will all hit at least their first home run in Arizona.
Riley likes Arizona.
Yeah.
He likes Arizona.
Yeah. He really does. So I'm excited to see Baldwin hit in Arizona because his power zone is, it's right there for him.
Yeah,
So
he's so good.
yeah, we'll see how that goes. I guess the biggest thing will be Sunday, who they decide to go. We'll see how that breaks down. It's going to be an interesting road trip. Then we go to Los Angeles or Anaheim and play the Los Angeles Angels. So got a 7-game road trip, 4-3. We get out of there 4-3. It's going to be a good road trip.
It's a good trip. It's a good
Yeah.
trip. Very
Yeah.
good trip.
All right. Well, that gets our next opponent. And what you got coming up, Brian? Anything?
We before we get out of here, Ken, we got to do our play of the series and the most valuable player of the series.
See. My man's on it. I even got it written down, but so okay. I'll let you go first. Play of the series.
My play of the series happened in Game 3, so today, and
Okay.
it is none other than this young gentleman right here. This is a big hit, man. 2 outs. You got the bases loaded. Ronald kind of waffled the at bat prior to that, and Drake Baldwin just comes through. That right there is my play of the series.
Yeah, that was you got the same reason they followed a dud game and they needed to jump out and he had a big
100%.
game, big hit right there. And for me, I'm going to go play of the series the other way. We had Sunday's game was a little bit of a dud, and I thought Mauricio Dubon really eased the team with his 2 out 2-run double in the first inning to give us a 3-0 lead, and that's my play of the series because I think it also helped Bryce kind of just get in his zone and throw, and so I'll go Mauricio Dubon. MVP of the series?
There's only one, bro. There's only one. There's only one right answer. There's only one.
What you got?
It's Drake Baldwin. That's who it is. Mr. Drake Baldwin, who needs to get an extension ASAP, AA. Like yesterday. Get it done.
Yeah, I was trying to find somebody that just argue with you, but there's just one guy that was every game, and that was Drake. And let's just go to him and let's get him 8 more years. Get him 8 years and lock him up like we did Michael. And it'd be just nice to have him here his whole career. But to do that start, let's get him 8-year contract right now. That'll get him into his 30s and then we can figure out everything then. But you're right. The MVP is Drake. And so just like the last time, we had one the same and one different. So it's the same thing. By the way, nobody's even sent us in. Everybody's asked me about the tickets. Maybe you're all trying to figure if you can go next Friday. So if you can give us the MVP and the play of the series from the last episode series, on this one's, we'll give you the end of the raffle. We're going to push more as it gets closer to it, but we're going to give away 2 tickets. So let us know. You got to make sure you follow us on all the social platforms. But before we head out of here, you got a final thought on anything you want to bring up tonight?
Yeah, I got a hot take.
Okay.
Drake Baldwin's going to be better than Brian McCann.
We're going to fix to put 16 in the rafters. You know that eventually.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. And I love Brian McCann. Brian McCann wasn't. He was good. He was pretty damn good early on, but he wasn't like Baldwin. I think Drake's going to be better than B-Mac, and I
I
love B-Mac.
I think this here. We talked about it today. It would have been really interesting to have Brian McCann being able to build DH. It's going to be interesting to watch Baldwin. They're
Yes.
both about the same player. Now Baldwin's going to get some games saved by DHing. Let's see how much further his career goes. It's going to be really fun to watch. But you're right. When I first saw him play 3 years ago, that's what I first thought. This is Brian McCann all over again. And it made the Will Contreras trade make sense to me. And I'm thinking that's what AA saw too. So, but yeah, that's a good final thought. My final thought is this. I got to be a little selfish. First of all, when you're down in the dumps about your Braves, think of something positive. And for me last night, this number 3 ranked team in the country made me feel better last night. And I'm hoping, my final thought is this. It sure be nice if Von Lackey fell to number 9 in the draft next year and we get Von Lackey. I want Von Lackey on this ball team. He's playing so well. He had his 14th home run last night. He'll probably go before us.
Lord.
14th home run. And let's hope hit it off the football building, off the top of it. And so he'll probably go. But that's my final thought, that not the tech thing, but if you've got something, you're down on the night, find something to breathe, people. Breathe. We're 4-2. Don't give up on us yet. One of the people that follow me and I follow told me that she was going to put a tweet out there. She's taking a break from Braves after the game last night. I'm like, okay, everybody needs to breathe. She's great
Game
too.
5, calm down.
Calm
Game
down.
5.
We're okay. So yeah, that's what we got. So we'll have it up. Remember, we're on YouTube. Everybody's been asking us. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're everywhere. So follow us. That's all we got tonight, unless you got something else, Ryan.
Just remember, Chad, could be worse. We could be the Phillies.
Man, that's awful. Yeah, that's the way we're going to end that. Remember, follow us at Hardcore Braves. We love you, and we appreciate the following. We're going through the roof. We're going to keep bringing you good stuff. And as we always say, go Braves. Peace.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.